It's over. It's all over. Week 12, Thursday Night Football. Bills just got pounded, 23-19. It's over. Buffalo season is over. Start looking at 2026. Another year wasted of Josh Allen's career. He's back to his terrible decision-making days, multiple turnovers. We have nobody on offense. Our defense stinks. Everybody got injured tonight. It was quite literally our downfall. And I've been saying this for years. We are completely Josh Allen reliant. I firmly believe we're a bottom 5 team in the league without Josh Allen. We literally have nobody. Like, if you're watching and you're like, well, they've been to the playoffs year after year, name me 3 players on the Bills besides Josh Allen, James Cook, and Deion Dawkins. If you're not a regular NFL fan, you can't. You can't. If you're just a casual, you would not be able to. I don't even know if you'd be able to name one. Maybe Keon Coleman because he's been in the news. We're an embarrassment. It was fucking pathetic. I don't know what I watched. The Texans have our number, but this has happened way too often. We don't stand a chance this year. And that's it. We're going to get into all of it, but I felt the need to say that. Steve, I'm happy you're back on the show for the recap. It's JV back on the JV show. Unfortunately, we couldn't get Steve on Monday. Had to bring him in Thursday because I'm not sure if we're going to get him on Monday or in the future, so we needed him on. Unfortunately, you're catching me at a bad time tonight, but I'm thankful that you're here. I'm trying to rep the Bills gear tonight, but I feel defeated, man. It was a tough watch.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, I think you're being a little too negative, like saying season's over. Guys are 7-4. You have maybe the best quarterback in the world. You're going to make the playoffs. It's fine. I mean, you've been in this position last year, right? I mean, remember last year's game against the Texans, how embarrassing that was for Josh Allen, the offensive line. But, man, like you said, I don't think me and you can try out for the Bills wide receiver core. I think we can make it. Seriously. Like, their lack of receiving core was on display last night. It was felt. Shakir, I love him, balled out for my fantasy team tonight, but he's like an underneath slot guy. He had nice big plays on some laterals, but he also had a fumble. Keon Coleman was a healthy scratch. What's going on there? He's like their most talented guy, and they try to bring in Gabe Davis to help their receiving problems to recreate the 2021 playoff spark. I didn't hear that guy's name called all night. So, I mean, Josh Allen it was the most he's ever been sacked in his career. Why was that? Because the guy felt like he had to be Superman. There was no one downfield. So he held on to the ball way too long, and he kept running into Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. And, that's part of being Superman, JV, where, like, one game you have it like last week where you got 6 total touchdowns. You feel like you're on top of the world, 3 passing, 3 rushing. Then you have 8 sacks tonight. Saw the same thing last year. Remember, he had 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing, 3 rushing against the Rams. Very same season. He goes 9 for 30 against the Texans. I like to call Josh Allen Superman because I really do think he's Superman. I don't know if you saw the new Superman in July, Superman 2025. But, one night Josh Allen could look like Superman in that movie, beating Lex Luthor, looking super strong. And then he could also look like in the same movie, trapped in the pocket universe. Kryptonite's holding him back. Well, what's Josh Allen's kryptonite? Pressure. If the offensive line's getting shaky and there's no one downfield, like you said, Josh Allen can kind of revert back to 2018-19 Josh Allen, where he's kind of rolling all over, turning the ball over, taking the sacks. But, man, I thought it was funny how you said outside of Josh Allen, Keon Coleman on the sideline and James Cook, can someone else name a Buffalo Bill on offense? You can't.
You can't. And the offensive line is really all Josh can rely on. Like, it's a really good unit, ironically. Amongst all the mediocrity we have on this team, it's a really good unit. But tonight, I mean, it felt like every down we played, somebody was in the blue tent. I was stunned, man. Maxwell Harrison.
Even ref.
The ref was in the tent. Deion Dawkins, James Cook, Josh Allen, you name it. I think Khalil Shakir went back. Like, everyone was in the tent.
Tackle.
I mean, I was blown away. And I know the Texans have our number. I know we weren't necessarily set up to succeed this year, really. I've said that since the beginning. But it's just tough to watch it with your own eyes from a fan's perspective. I'm just completely embarrassed of what this franchise has done. Like you said, Steve, and you said it perfectly, Josh Allen feels the pressure to win the game by himself. And I don't blame him at all because he has to. He literally must win the game. That's what happened last week against the Bucs. 6 touchdowns, strapped him on his back, but it's just not a sustainable way of winning. And it's a hard watch. They get to the playoffs, I'm sure he'll do it, but we're just not equipped to win a Super Bowl. We're not. There are some really good teams in the NFL right now. I will say, this year there's no juggernaut. Like, I think Philly is really good. I think the Colts are good. Seahawks are good. Rams are good. But, like, there's something missing sometimes with these teams. Like, I wouldn't say that they're completely unbeatable like Philly was heading into the playoffs last year. But the Bills, like, we seem so close yet so damn far every single week. And I can't bother watching this game anymore. I can't bother watching our defense missing tackle after tackle. How many times did we have a running back or a quarterback pinned in the backfield tonight and we couldn't get it done? 4th down right there for us to capitalize, stop the offense. We couldn't do it. The Shakir fumble. We have no passing weapons. I'm all on board. Scratch Keon Coleman. He doesn't do anything for us anyways. He really isn't much. He's a 50-50 guy, I guess, but he doesn't excel in that game at the NFL level, and he doesn't separate. Like, it's shocking to me. No Kincaid, Dawson Knox, and Shakir are the guys we rely on. The reason Joe Brady schemes up so many screen passes is because we can't do anything else. And that's not a knock on Josh Allen, but the second all of that fails, we got nowhere to go. And on top of that, Joe Brady stinks. We need a new offensive coordinator. I think we need to blow up. Like, we need a mini blow up. I'm happy we got Josh Allen, and as long as we got Josh Allen, we will be good. We'll be fine. But in order for us to push for a Super Bowl, we actually need a team. I don't know if this is breaking news, but you need a team to win a Super Bowl, not just a quarterback. And the Texans, full credit to them. Their defense is flat out phenomenal. They got to Josh Allen 8 times tonight. I believe the most time he's ever been sacked in his career. Their defense is great. Davis Mills was subpar tonight. I don't think C.J. Stroud, with the offense, the way it looks, I think they said on the broadcast tonight that C.J. Stroud was interviewed after training camp, and he asked, like, is our offense trash or is the defense really good? It's probably both. Like, I don't think the offense is very good, and I also think the defense is great. I don't really think they're going anywhere. I feel like they're a Walmart version of the Broncos, almost. Like, the Broncos are probably a step above them. But just a complete collapse by Buffalo. I don't think anything's going on for these two teams, but to have a quarterback of that caliber that you could legitimately argue to be the best quarterback in the NFL, it's mind-blowing to me that this is where this franchise is trending this season, especially with the Chiefs at 5-5 too, which we're going to talk about in a few topics here, Steve.
Man, don't you think out of all like the playoff teams / contenders, the Bills got by far the most irrelevant receiving core? Remember that they ran it. They had a missed 4th down. They ran 4 straight plays to James Cook. I love James Cook. Think he's one of the better backs in the league. If they had a better wide receiver than Shavers on the outside, I think they probably would have thrown it at least once. But they got you and me out there wide receiver, and they had to throw a lot of the bubble screens and the laterals to Shakir to get the offense involved. But they had a bunch of no-namers out there at wide receiver. It feels like ever since Stephon Diggs, and how good has Stephon Diggs been in New England, the receivers have just felt irrelevant. And Josh Allen was looking downfield all night and really just seeing no one open, so he just kept holding on the ball and going in the sacks. But you do have to give credit to Houston's defense, though. It was one of the better defensive performances I think I've seen in a long time. 8 sacks, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery. They only allowed 12 offensive points because one of the touchdowns for Buffalo was a Ray Davis kick return. No touchdowns for Josh Allen. It's Josh freaking Allen. And like I said, they did the same thing to him last year, holding him 9-30. It felt like I was watching, you talked about the Denver Broncos, but it felt like I was watching the no-fly zone, right, with the ball-hawking secondary, but a defensive line that can get straight to the quarterback. But you talk a little bit about Davis Mills. The Texans have quietly won 3 straight with Davis Mills. Now they're above 500 for the first time all season. And you also brought up the Chiefs for a second. This is going to put the Chiefs in jeopardy. I know we're going to get into it in a second, but Texas above 500 with this defense, Stroud coming back, Kansas City, watch out.